We are gathering on the rug, on the rug. Everyone is here now, finding their own space now. We are here. We are here. Okay, readers, so today's Wednesday. It's our third session in our avid reading, and we talked first about what an avid reader is and how they love to read everywhere and anywhere and everything and all over the place. And I loved seeing pictures of a bunch of you guys reading in different places and beds and upside down. And then we talked about how we have reactions and feelings connected with our stories. And I asked you guys to tell me a story and then pretend you were that character and get in those characters' shoes and think, how would you feel in that character? And in the Google Classroom, I gave the example of the giving tree and how sometimes the feelings will change throughout the story. In the beginning of the story, the tree was happy and glad and excited. He had the boy, and then when the boy grew older and was kind of using him, he was kind of sad and lonely and felt useless because at the end he couldn't help as much. And at the very end, when the boy came back as an old man and sat down on his stump, I think he kind of felt content and satisfied. So all those feelings happened in one character throughout an entire book. So I asked you to tell me a book and share your feelings. Now, today's message is more about how if there's a spot in the book you really, really cling to. So how I'm going to say is, like, sometimes when you're reading a book, and I know especially when I have read something special, or when I'm reading with Sarah for my book club, or now my family's doing a book club, if there's a part of the book that I want to pay attention to or I want to go back to, I might put a little note, or I might highlight it or put a little post-it so I can remember those pages to go back to. Even the other day, I read something special about Sela's name in a story, and I shared what I read with her mom, because sometimes books have such great messages that we want to share them with other people. So today I want to teach you that when readers have thoughts during reading, those thoughts are precious. They want to hold on to those thoughts so they don't just float away. I don't want to forget it when I keep reading about it, right? So it really helps if, rather than just putting a blank post-it or a blank little mark, if you draw or write a little something on that post-it to help you remember what you were thinking. Maybe a happy face because that made you feel happy, or maybe a sad face if it made you feel sad, or something that was important. Maybe you'll do some exclamation points. So when we're reading and we want to remember certain things, it's great to leave yourself little notes. So that way, when you're going with maybe a reading partner or your reading club or your reading group, you'll have these references of these important thoughts, because books can give us important feelings and ideas, and some, like our Learn About the World books, they might teach you something. So if you're reading a Learn About the World book, the other day Hudson B. read Five Senses to me. Maybe he learned something really interesting in there and he wants to put a post-it so he can remember that fact about your sense of taste or your sense of smell or anything. Or maybe if you're reading a funny book and you want to remember a funny little line, you might put a post-it and a laughing face because you want to remember that was a really funny part of the book. So I took out our Easy Mouse books, which we've read 100,000 times and we know them so well. And this is a great example. Maybe you want to go through an easy book and just think about different thoughts you might have. And then how you could add a little post-it to remind yourself of it. How might you put a post-it here? Maybe you're feeling excited for him. So you might want to write the word excited or draw an excited, happy face. How might you feel on this page for the mouse? Sad for him, he got hurt, maybe a Band-Aid. You want to draw a Band-Aid because he got hurt, or a sad crying face because maybe he's going to cry after a fall like that. So I want you to think about a book you have at home and think about what parts are important to you. What maybe you would want to share with someone if you had a book partner, or maybe you can share that thought with someone in your house. So after this is a super short lesson today. Let's go through picnic. What thought might you have when the mouse is picking up the cookies? Maybe hungry. Maybe this book makes you hungry with all the yummy foods. Or maybe pick which food you like the best out of what the mouse is bringing to the picnic. I think my favorite food that the mouse brings is the cheese. I love cheese, so maybe I'll put a Post-it with a heart here because I love cheese. And then maybe how do you feel at the end of the story? What Post-it would you put here? Fun, maybe even, oh, that's something I want to do. I want to make a picnic right now and go eat my lunch outside. That's an excellent idea. This book inspired me to have a picnic lunch today. So go through your books, think about the parts that are really important, and maybe make little notes to yourself to remember these parts. So now remember, every day you should be reading, and especially after your reading workshop lesson. I hope you're going to take out your book bags now and do that. Maybe if you don't have any Post-its at home, that's okay. You can just use little scrap pieces of paper and stick them in there. So go through a book now and do little thoughts, little feelings, happy faces, sad faces, crying faces, excited faces, notes to yourself to remember certain parts of your books. Okay, readers, good luck with this reading project and happy reading!